Hey guys, we're so glad you're here. Grab your resistance band. Today we're gonna focus on single-sided work and finding that connection to our core. So grab that band and we're gonna step on top of it into a squat. We're gonna have our feet 4 inches apart parallel, and you want the band under the balls of your feet with your toes off the front just a little bit. Take your arms out to the side nice and long. We're gonna exhale as we crease at the hips, lengthening back. Tailbone reaches long from crown of head. Inhale as you rise all the way up. We can send the arms outbound just a little bit as we warm everything up. And we're gonna go into some weight shifts next. So now we know about that low squat. We're gonna hold. We find lots of length, and we're barely gonna peel the entire sole of the right foot up and off the mat. And then we're gonna set it back down. And then we're gonna peel the entire sole of the left foot off the mat. And then we set it back down. So what you're probably noticing, as you lift the right foot, you feel the left waistline really firing on. And then as you lift the left foot, the right waistline really fires on. So already we're starting to explore that idea of what happens as we focus on one side versus the other, and how the core connects us through the entire sequence of movement. Can you make it even smaller for the next few? Can you peel just barely the fabric of that band up off the floor? I had to lower my range of movement as well. And you feel that it even fires up that intensity and that core connection a little bit more. How about for you? Right? Less is more. Keep those collarbones nice and wide. Keep the heart melting down towards your sacrum and the navel drawing up and in at a diagonal. Let's go for one more either side. We're gonna peel up the right foot, the entire foot, not just the heel. And now the left side. Both feet go down. Keep your feet on the band and rise all the way to standing. Now we're going to take just the left foot out so that the right foot has the band. And I'm gonna choke up on it pretty sincerely so that we have good resistance through the arm and the shoulder girdle. Swivel your feet into first position, heels touching, toes turned out, and left arm comes up and out. So what we're gonna do is go into some leg sweeps. We're gonna bring the right leg forward, now it's off of the floor, and take a quick pause to find your shoulder connected to the leg. So I want the work shared between the shoulder and the leg, and you'll feel that left hip and left waistline really firing on, right? All right, here we go. We're gonna inhale as we take that leg out to the side, plugging it in, using that red band to plug in. It sweeps behind you, and then we're going to exhale as we sweep it forward. So the idea is to find that balance through the sole of your left foot, that length of the left inner thigh reaching up alongside the spine, and that right leg deeply connected to the core for your movement. Can you stretch your right leg a little bit more? That knee absorbs up and into the quadriceps. The sole of foot is long away from the pelvis with the inner thigh reaching beyond the sole of the foot. And we're finding that right shoulder really deeply active in the effort. So we're not just letting the band kind of do all of the work. I'm gonna plug that arm into the middle back, working with the inner thigh to draw the leg forward, and working through the glute med and the back side of the leg to take it back. We're gonna bring the leg forward one more time, and then we're gonna hold it back on this next one. Hold the leg back. Make sure you have length in your low back. It can get a little bit wobbly. Plug the arm down into the middle back, and then we're gonna do a little reach back, working into that glute med. We're gonna go for 4, find lots of length for 3. This is 2. And we're gonna set the leg all the way down. And now we're gonna take the red band out from under our foot and go into a scissor hold. So we're gonna walk the right foot forward and step the left foot back, and the hands are gonna rise up and overhead. From here, we're gonna inhale, floating the right heel up and off of the floor so we are melting equally into both balls of feet. And on an inhale, fan the left ribs, and you'll see that you tip up and over towards the right. And then we're gonna exhale, bring it back to center. So it's a small range of movement. It's a sincere balance challenge. So you wanna glue your eyes ahead of you as you inhale and fan, exhale as we bring it back to start. So if this feels like too much of a balance challenge today, you can set your right heel down and do the same sequence. Really find the inner thighs connecting. So because we have that right leg extended forward, that right inner thigh is spiraling forward, and that left inner thigh is spiraling back in opposition. As we tip to the right, we're having to find a lot of stabilization through the core for that sequence. So go ahead and find that fanning of the ribs as you inhale and arc. Exhale, bring it back up through center, really using the inner thigh across to the waistline connection. We're gonna go for 4 more of these. Plug the arms down into the middle back. Last 2. And this is gonna be our last one. Bring it all the way in. All right, let's take that band down to the mat just for a moment. We're gonna go into a single arm Wunda twist. So we're gonna take our left hand onto the mat and then step into your best side plank here. Left foot is in front of the right. We're gonna take that right arm up towards the sky, and then on an inhale breath, we're gonna rotate the pelvis as the arm sweeps down and we spiral the pelvis down towards the mat. That's an inhale. Then we're gonna exhale as we unwind back to that side plank. Inhale, come up and back, sweeping the arm forward, and exhale as we unwind. So as we work with this single arm as our base of support, you'll notice that that sideline on the left side of the body is working overtime. And let's see if we can't find stability in that right side, even though it's not touching the floor and touching the mat. Can we keep that arm plugged into the core in the middle back? Finding that reach and that rotation from the pelvis. Find lots of length on the waistline. Let's go for 3 more here, finding that reach and that extension. Really lengthen the pelvis back every time. Swiveling on the toes. The pelvis is your keystone of movement. This will be our last one. Let's make it the best one. And go ahead, return into that side plank, and with control, lower your hips down onto the mat. We're gonna go into our supine, which means we're on our back with our red band, and we're gonna go into a single leg series on the right. So take that red band under the arch of your right foot, and we're gonna take that band into our right hand like so. Left hand comes long at our side, and the left leg comes up to greet the right. Find a neutral pelvis, find lots of length on all sides of the body. Straight away, we're gonna swivel into a first position, upper inner thighs spiral towards your chest, and then we're gonna slide the left ankle under the right. So we're gonna cross the upper inner thighs, and on the inhale breath, lower the legs down towards the floor. They don't have to go all the way. And then on the exhale breath, bring it back up. Find that reach and that length. Inhale, finding the upper inner thighs magnetized, attaching to the core. And that red band gives you that feedback of the fact that your leg is a part of your core and it's moving because it is connected to the core. We're gonna go for a few more here. Jane's doing a beautiful job of keeping everything organized and finding that that leg really drops in at the top of the range of movement. So it's an inhale breath for length. Go as low as it works for your low back. Exhale, rise. We're gonna pause here. We're gonna swivel back into parallel, and the legs are gonna be 4 inches apart parallel. Bend the knees, beautiful. And let's make sure we find that organization. So it can be really tricky when we only have that red band, right? Usually we might have a prop in between the legs, and here it's gonna be up to you and up to you to find that organization. Let's flex those feet. We're gonna go into a bend and stretch. Here we go. Both legs go out at the same time on an inhale breath. Beautiful. Exhale, draw the legs back into your tabletop position. Gorgeous. So you can take a glance at your feet, at your knees and your toes, and find if you are aligned, if you have your big toe, second toe, right in line with your feet. And it's so tricky to do when we don't have feedback of the ground below us or anything else kind of giving us that touch point. So it's really tricky, especially with one band. You're doing a beautiful job, my friend. Just a couple more here. Finding that inhale breath to reach and that exhale breath to absorb it back in. Neutral pelvis. Just for fun, if you want to go into an abdominal curl for the last few, you can. Head can pick up off the mat. Exhale as it comes in. Let's make this the last one. Inhale as we reach long. Exhale as we crease. And go ahead and lower those feet down. We're actually gonna take the band under both arches now. So we're gonna take the band under the arches of both feet, arms are long at our sides, and we're gonna go into a long teaser. Find a little bit of openness between your feet, somewhere between maybe about 3 or 4 inches. Head goes down on the mat, arms go wide, and then on the inhale breath, we're just gonna float the back side of your head up and off the mat, maybe up to about the shoulder blades. And then we're gonna exhale, set it back down. Now we're gonna inhale, find that length and that reach again. And on this next one, go ahead and set your head back down. On this next one, we're gonna invite the legs to hover off the mat a tiny bit as well. So the legs hover and the head and shoulders hover, and then we set it back down. So if that's a good challenge for you, you can stay here as you inhale and rise. And if you're looking for a little bit more, we're gonna keep it long and low, but we're gonna exhale as we pick it up and come a little bit higher, and then we're gonna set it back down. So we don't need to do too many of these, do we? We feel them straight away. Inhale as we lengthen and reach, and then we're gonna exhale, lower down. So try not to come into a very deep V. It's more of this shallow experience about length and reach rather than height. And then bring it down. We're gonna go for 2 more like that, guys. And we've got that single leg on the other side. Arms are long, collarbones are wide. Make this your last one, your best one, with as much reach as possible. Loading up. Hold that balance for 3, for 2. And with control, set it all the way down. All right, let's slide the right foot out of the band. The left hand and the left foot only have the band now. And we're gonna rise into the tabletop first. So we're gonna do it in reverse on this side. If you'd like to, head, neck, and shoulders can come off the mat, not required. 4 inches apart, parallel, here we go. Inhale, stay as organized as possible. Exhale as we control it back in. I like the idea of picking up your head, neck, and shoulders as well to make sure that you stay organized and make sure that your feet are moving at the same pace. If you want to support your neck, you can always take your right hand behind the base of your skull. Inhale, reach long. Exhale as we absorb it in. Feet are flexed. That's going to help us connect to the back line of the body. And you'll notice how hard your brain and your core is having to work to keep things organized. It's a lot when you're not allowing one side to take over versus the other. And when you're having to match movement where one side has resistance and the other side doesn't. Let's go for 2 more in this flexed position, finding that reach and extension on an inhale. Exhale, bring it in. This is going to be the last one. We're going to go into that cross under experience. Go ahead and bend the legs. And we're going to float the feet up towards the sky. Rotate into first position. Right foot crosses under. And think about the upper inner thighs crossing. Here we go. Inhale, breath lowers down. And the exhale breath brings it back to start. Inhale, breath reaches. Think about crown of head reaching in one direction as the soles of your feet reach in the other. Exhale, bring it up. We can always try a knee bend too. If you find that this is aggressive on your low back, give your knees a little bend. And you can do the movement just like this. And you're gonna get the same focus with a little knee bend rather than the straight leg. Exhale, breath, bring it up. Tailbone stays heavy in the mat. Let's go for 2 more, gang. We've got that wounded twist on the other side. Good news. And go ahead and uncross the legs, and you can take the band off for just a moment. All right, let's go into that single arm wounded twist on the right. So right hand comes down onto the mat. We're gonna step up into our best side plank. Right leg is forward. Left arm comes up towards the sky. And then on the inhale breath, we rotate the pelvis, swiveling up and back, and the left arm sweeps forward. Exhale, and wind into that side plank. Inhale, think about that right hip dragging up and back. And draw it back into that side plank. We want to keep that right shoulder off of our ear as well. So you can think about that right shoulder blade melting down and around the ribs. Rather than yanking it down, just think about it melting and dropping, or maybe even dripping down around the rib basket. Inhale for reach as you rise. Exhale as we unwind. Let's go for 2 more here, finding that length and that reach every time. Keeping that left arm organized and plugged in even as it sweeps. Come back to your side plank. And we're gonna set the hip all the way down. All right, great. Let's go into that scissor hold with our band. So grab that band. We're gonna step up onto our feet. Left foot is forward this time. Right foot takes a natural step back. Again, you can keep your left foot flat or rise onto the balls of both feet. You can give it a try, see what works for you today. Hands come up and overhead. And then we're gonna inhale, small arc, and exhale as we center it back out. Inhale, fanning open the right ribs. Exhale, bring it back to center. So as we're working here, I want to send some attention to the fact that Jane's not doing a great big crease and drop over. She's doing a lift up and over, and you can see there's a lot of space being kept here on the left side of her body. So we're doing a small arc. Think more about fanning the right ribs rather than thinking about shortening or bending on the left side. Find that length and that openness on the right side. And then while we're working, we're finding this stability via the inner thighs. This inner thigh on the forward leg is spiraling forward, and the back leg is spiraling back. So they're working in opposition to help keep your body connected and organized. Do you feel so connected and organized? She says that because the camera's rolling. Good, 2 more, you got it, you got it. Inhale as we arc. Beautiful job. We're gonna go into that leg sweep on the other side and bring it down. Nice work, all right. This is gonna be it, guys. We're gonna stretch real soon, hallelujah. All right, left arch of the foot, left hand on the band. We're in first position. Float the right arm up and out. Again, we wanna plug that arm down into the middle back. We wanna receive a lot of weight into that left shoulder girdle area, and then we're gonna slide the left leg forward. I'm gonna choke up even a little bit more on my band. You wanna find that deep connection, core through shoulder and leg, and then we're gonna sweep around. So it doesn't have to be a great big, wide, or high sweep. It's really about finding that right waistline, right hip, stabilizing that left leg, moving about. So you'll feel that straight away as soon as you pick your left foot up and off the floor. I'm gonna give you a little tip about how to find even more core work here. As we're sliding the leg around, notice that Jane's moving really slowly and with a lot of intention. She's also not leaning into this right hip. So the idea is you wanna find this right inner thigh coming up alongside the spine, and it keeps you out of that heavy lean. You're gonna shift a little bit because you're standing on one leg, but the less you lean, the more core effort you'll feel through that waistline, even a tiny bit. Play around with it. See if you can move maybe a centimeter in towards the midline of your body, and you'll get even more. Let's go for that last one where we hold the leg back and find that little reach, really working through that glute med and the waistline connection. So it's a tiny little reach back. Let's go for 4 more here. Find lift and reach, lifting that right inner thigh up. This is the last one. And bring the left foot all the way down. All right, guys, we're gonna come down onto our knees with the band to stretch it out. We made it. All right, so we're gonna start in a wide kneeling position, and we're gonna go into a shoulder release. So we're gonna take the arms up and overhead. That's an inhale, and then we're gonna exhale, come behind us. So we did a lot of work, particularly in that single arm Wunda twist. That's a big ask on your shoulder. And so we're just opening up the shoulder, dropping the shoulder blades down. You can open the band a little bit more wide if you need to. And just pay attention to what feels good in your body. We're gonna hold the band up and overhead, and let's sweep our feet to the left. So we're gonna be in a little more of a mermaid position, opening through the side of the hip. And then we're gonna arc, fan the ribs one more time. And then on your next inhale, rotate the ribs up to the sky. We're gonna hold. Really feel that opening on the front side of that right shoulder, the front side of the right chest. Through the side line of the body, come back through center. Center up that band, center out your legs. Now we're gonna go through a torso rotation. We're gonna go in a little circle here. So we're gonna arc, and then we'll exhale round through the center. Feels so good. Inhale, come up the other side. Let's take the other direction. So we're gonna fan the left ribs, Exhale, nod and round through center. Inhale as we come up. Now we're gonna sweep the legs to the right, go into a little mermaid position, and then we're gonna arc, fanning the left ribs, arc to the right side. Take a pause here, and on your inhale breath, open your ribs towards the sky, stretching through the front side of the chest, stretching through the side body. Come back through center, return to upright, and square out those legs. You made it. Beautiful job, you guys. Thanks for finding our single-sided focus with Jane and I today. Have a beautiful finish to your day.